Alright, what is up, you guys? Cripple Slayer, welcome back to another video. I wanted to talk about something really important. Alright, so there's been some drama lately between Shane Dawson, Taddy, and James Charles and stuff like that. I'm gonna just talk about Shane Dawson today. So my thoughts, opinions, my whole outlook on what I think. What people are talking about on the internet about Shane Dawson, what he did years ago, I don't know anything about that, okay? This was back in 2010 when that stuff stirred up. Was starting to cook, if you know what I mean. And then this year, it's starting to take a rise, and yeah. So let's just talk about it. So, what do I think about Shane Dawson? Personally, I think Shane Dawson is... It's kind of tricky. Because if you say one thing about him, someone would think another thing about him, and it just creates a big thing. So let me put it this way. I've watched Shane Dawson videos. I watched his conspiracy theories. I really liked those. And that's the only videos I really watched from Shane Dawson. And when I heard this stuff from Leafy is Here and No Jumper, I'm like, okay, well, I want to put my hat in the ring and just talk about it. You know, I can't really give my opinions on what Shane Dawson did back in the day. I can't really give my opinion because I didn't really do YouTube until 2015, so that's 5 years later, right? Because all this stuff that they're bringing up now was back in 2010, and I wasn't doing much in 2010, let me tell you. So I don't really know the whole stuff about it. And I have been doing research. Now, I haven't seen any old clips of Shane Dawson saying this and that. And I watched the Shane Dawson, the Shane Dawson video saying, I need to just come clean, pretty much. I saw that video, and he's right. I feel like if someone does something wrong, I'm not putting it towards him, I mean anybody. If someone does something wrong, right? If someone does something wrong, I feel like they should be accountable for it. Now, a lot of people could probably disagree or agree with that statement, but I'm serious, dude. Like, if you, do something, right? If you do something that would offend somebody or would hurt a community or anything like that, then you should take note that you're doing that. And, you know, honestly, I feel that video was well said, Shane. So good for you, dude. It's got 13 million views on YouTube as we speak. Probably got another million views on the way, so probably bump it to like 14 million views. I was watching the No Jumper podcast from yesterday. It was 15 hours ago. And it said that it was a heated argument, which it was. It was Adam 22, No Jumper. It was AD, and it was Cam Girl. which are people that are very popular, as you may gather. I personally haven't listened to AD that much, personally. I think he's a dope rapper. I think he's cool. And Cam Girl, I've never watched her at all. I've heard of her, but I've never watched her videos. Adam22, No Jumper, I've seen stuff of his, and I know he messed with Pete, he messed with XXXTentacion, he messed with Juice WRLD, he messed with people in the hip-hop community. And I've seen that stuff because I'm into hip-hop. And that's just my stuff. And to see him go at a different angle, like talking about the beauty community, is kind of cool. Like, he's like, I don't really know much about it, but I do know that this happened. And that's all I know. And I think that's cool. If you do stuff like that, that's cool. But, like, I hate when people use, like, false facts and, like, they just make up stuff that's not actually accurate, like factually accurate. Like some of the stuff that Shane Dawson did, people were making it look like he did this certain thing because they would get like a clip and get another clip and put it together and make him look like that he done this certain thing, which is not cool, right? And I think people that do that should be accountable for their actions because, yeah, it's just wrong, man. Like, you shouldn't frame anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're, a guy, a girl. I don't care who you are. I just feel that if you do something that's offensive, or if you do something that makes someone look bad, or something along those lines of being bad, don't do it, man. It's not cool. There's gonna be people that take the piss, and pardon my French, but take the piss on certain groups and certain I can't say that word. Always have a hard time saying it. Ethnicities. Yeah. Different ethnic groups. Yeah. I hate when people, like, just show them in a bad light. It's terrible for anybody, whether you be in the makeup, beauty world community, whether in the hip-hop community, whether you're in the I'm a buff guy, I want to be like a rock type of community. Doesn't matter what community you're in. If you take somebody and you put them in a pot or a bowl or whatever you want to call it metaphorically, and you put them in a pot and you dump all this bad broth on them, right, and make them to be bad soup, that's not cool. And I know I'm using metaphors here, and I hope younger people will understand where I'm coming from. I know I don't know much of the world about, really what goes on, like, behind the camera, and even if it's on the camera, like, deeper meaning behind what they're filming and stuff. Like, I know that I'm clueless, okay? We probably all are. A lot of us are probably clueless because what we thought 10 years ago is not what we think 10 years later. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's mindset changes constantly. Whether we're 21 or 31 or 61. It doesn't matter how old we are, we're always going to be changing our mindset. Because one minute we'll think this way, and next thing you know, it's completely different. It's like, I've met people like this. It's like, I'm not saying any names, but it's like a friend of mine. My friend, he just changed. Like, one day he was this person, and then he had a certain mindset. He was doing, stuff, like, that wasn't good for him, and then next thing you know, he's all about serving God, which is good, and I think that's a good thing, and about how can I help the next person, how can I stop this, how can I address this to people that are either still being, lack of a better term, clueless, or not caring. Like, how can I change that mindset of that person to think the way I do for whatever it is. But back to Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is, honestly, I think, all in all, at the end of the day, he's not a bad guy. I think we should stop looking at the negative side of people and start embracing the good side. Because something they did years ago shouldn't really be brought up now. And that's what people are doing. They're digging up the past. They're getting this shovel and just dig and dig and dig. And they are always hitting rocks. And rocks hurt, man. It does. So we should stop hitting the rocks and just leave the rocks in the dirt where they should have been in the first place. Like, it's not cool, bro. It's not. I hate to say it to people, but it's not a healthy thing to make fun of people. It's not healthy to dig up someone's past. It's not healthy to take a piece of information, whether it be a letter or a clip, in this case, a clip, and then take another part of a clip and just excruciate this person. Like, it's not cool. Like, being excruciating is just not cool. Honestly, like, to be honest with you, I feel that if people are doing it deliberately, they need to stop now. Because all you're going to do is just dig yourself a people hole. Now, what do I mean by people hole? Well, you're going to basically piss everybody off that you most likely know. And it doesn't even have to be people you just know. It could be people on social media or people that you just know of, whether it be across the street or the next state over from you. Or in a different country even, the next country over from you. Whoever it is, you shouldn't be causing this pain to them, to him or to her or whoever it is. And I'm glad Shane did that video because I do agree with that statement. Me and him mirror views. I use that term in Stampy's video, right? And this is different from Stampy, but let me just go into what I feel. Okay? So, this is what I feel. What I feel is, well, to be honestly, is I feel that this is a truth. People can do stuff that is wrong, but they should have the opportunity to say sorry for it, even though they might not be getting a thank you from that person. And it makes sense because it depends how deep the pain was for them. So if you caused them pain, then yeah, it just depends how much you've done to that person. If you've done a lot to that person, well, most likely they're not going to say thank you. I appreciate that apology. But if you did something... Now, I'm not saying that bad things are minor. I'm not saying that at all. Everything bad is, bad. Like, if you done something bad, it's like, it's a little thing, no big deal. No, it is a big deal. And I feel like people should be accountable for their actions. And good for Shane Dawson. He's growing as a person. That's awesome. I think we all should start learning from that. And whether we believe Shane or not, I feel like we should at least learn from what he said in that video about taking accountability. I think that's a brilliant thing. So, and the way I thought a year ago is not what I think now. And I'm starting to realize that at 19 years old. And luckily 19, because I don't want to be 30 years old and be like, oh yeah, well, I wish I'd known this when I was 20. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that person. I want to know my mistakes now so I don't have to correct them later on when I'm older. Like, correct them while you're pretty young, not when you're kind of like oldish. So, around Shane Dawson age, he's around 30. I think he's 32. I think No Jumper said. So I don't want to be around 32 like Shane Dawson and just figure out my mistakes now. I don't want that. Just not me. So anyway, I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want any other further information about anything, I'll try to put it in a video where it's to my standards of how I feel and think about it. And I'll see you guys later. Creep it out. Goodbye, Creep fans.